Good day, spiritual artists. You're listening to the Spiritual Artist Podcast with Chris Miller. I had a challenge and I want to share it with you. Have you ever wanted to create something in your life or see a change, but you just couldn't get yourself emotionally to that place? You just couldn't see it happening. It became a wall. Well, listen to this podcast, and I'm going to tell you a 3-step way to manifest new, exciting things in your life and get beyond disbelief and move into belief. I was going to ask you something today. Do you ever want to do something or change something in your life and you just don't know emotionally how to get there? You just can't get there, or you struggle with the idea of that change. So I've been in that kind of a place lately on a couple issues, and I remembered something that's really important, and I want to share it with you, my listener, this week, something to focus on. So what I realized started, about a year and a half ago. I took a new position at a corporate office, and it was different for me. I've always been self-employed, and so going back to a corporate office was quite the experience. And what I didn't realize is that in the new corporate America, they don't really train you. They just kind of sit you behind the desk and say, go for it, which can be a little challenging. So I started that job, and the boss and the other employees started throwing stuff at me. And I realized that the only way I could get through this was that I had to go and find the answer myself. But I realized there was something stopping me, and it was my belief. I had to believe that there was an answer out there somewhere, whether the answer was talking to someone else on the staff or whether it was Googling it, going to YouTube and finding a video, the answer was out there. So for example, my supervisor would give me an assignment to go get some files or learn some new product. And I immediately was like, I was never trained on that. How do I do that? And then I realized, YouTube, which is a great channel, by the way, to learn things. You can type in almost anything in YouTube and you'll find a solution for it. How to plant a certain plant, how to resurface your deck, you name it, it's on there. Even how to feel better, by the way, because I have my YouTube channel that you can listen to. But what I realized was I had to believe that the answer was out there. And when I didn't believe, the first few days, when I didn't think there was a solution, I didn't think I had the capabilities, I didn't think I had the strength and the know-how to make it happen, that was the hardest time to be. But what you have to realize is that the universe is an abundant place, and there are answers everywhere, and they're coming at you, and it's all right there. The key is learning how to see it. And that's where that phrase comes around. You have to believe it to see it. And when you say you have to believe it to see it, it's not about believing in some other thing going to walk you through, but it's a knowing that the answers are all there. This universe has such diversity, so many people, so much talent, so much of that energy of growth is around us that you just have to believe it's there in order to start seeing it around you. And suddenly, when you believe it's possible, then sure enough, I'd get on YouTube and I'd Google it and find a video that was addressing the exact same issue I was having of how to make something happen in that application. I would realize that it was right there. Or the perfect employee would walk in and I would ask them, and they sure enough knew how to do it. So the key here is you have to always believe something before it happens. So yesterday I was standing in front of the easel and I started painting, and I had a great experience. It was one of those experiences of true flow where everything came out, and I created a really great painting, almost finished, just a few little tweaks on it. And I immediately stopped and I thought, well, I have to stop now. I have to stop now because I only have one really great painting in me a day. I mean, I really thought about that. Thought, why am I stopping? I'm stopping because I believed that I only had one great painting in me. And that belief kept me from seeing any other possibilities. So I leaned back and I thought, wait a minute. It's entirely possible if I can have a wonderful painting occur in a couple hours, that I can have a second wonderful painting occur. And I thought, what if I just hold on to that idea? So first, sometimes you need to just hold on to the possibility. So the first step of believing is just realizing that there is a possibility that this could happen. The second step is looking back in your life and seeing that where you manifested something else that seemed almost impossible but happened. So go back and look at your life situation. And so think, what have I? Oh, you know what? Sure enough, I did do two paintings that were really great on one weekend. And if I could do two paintings on one weekend that were really great, why couldn't I do them in the same session or on the same day? So you look for examples in your past, you look for signs in your past that help build the argument of belief. So what they're doing is you're first, there's a possibility for anything to happen. Second, I did something sort of like this in the past. And so knowing those two things, I can walk into creating what I want. And so I step back, I visualize that. I visualize myself, and I love this exercise. The third thing to do is try to visualize it, manifest it, make a mental equivalent of it. Sit down and first see yourself doing what you think is impossible. See yourself painting that wonderful painting. Just close your eyes and visualize yourself standing in the floor, standing in your studio, painting, picking up the canvas, being in flow, doing it. So see yourself doing it. Hear what it would be like to do it. Hear the hooray, hear the sounds of victory. Try to touch it. Feel like what it'd be like to touch that beautiful piece of work or whatever you want to create. Feel like what it would be like to experience it, whether it's something you would hold around you or live within or walk down the street holding the hand up. The third step is to try using all of your senses, sight, sound, smell, and touch, to create what you call a vision of what is possible. And sure enough, I painted two great paintings in one morning. It was the belief. It was the belief that was holding me back. So as you go out this week, I want you to look at your life and say, what do I not believe is possible? What can I not see myself believing? And use those three exercises. And I will put them on my website. You can download a study sheet so you can see those three steps. If you go to Spiritual Artist Today, you'll see that on a subpage. You can download case studies and worksheets, and you can practice this week. Look at something in your life and say, I believe that this is possible. Because when you believe it, you will see it. Okay, so now we have three steps to get from disbelief to belief. The first step is just opening the crack. It's opening that doorway. So it's considering the possibility, knowing that all things are possible. There was a time when we didn't think man would walk on the moon. There was a time when we didn't think we could transfer communication through through the air. So consider that there's always a possibility. The second step, claim a similar experience from your past. Go back and look at your life and see, where did I achieve something close to or similar to this? Claim it and realize that if I did it then, I can do it now. Or if I did something very close to then, I could do something very close to that now. And third, do what I call a multisensory visualization. I want you to see it as though you have it. I want you to feel it as though you have it. I want you to smell it as though you have it and touch it. Do all those things. I sat down and I thought, okay, I see myself painting a second painting. I can touch it. I know I've done something similar like this in the past. So I've done all those things. And sure enough, I manifested a second really good painting in one session. So it's all about creativity. It's about expanding that realm of possibility a little bigger and a little bigger each time. So I want to thank you for listening to the Spiritual Artist Podcast today. I want you to follow me if you can. I want you to share this with your friends and go out there and believe that you can manifest any creative thing that you want by following those easy steps, and believe it, and then you'll see it. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.